And we're back. We're just discussing... Oh god, careful. That was terrifying. That was a face. Welcome back. We are discussing what to do next, having, like, rescued a child from horrible fairies. Oh, well, not fairies, nodcaps. They are not... They are fae, they are not fairies.
Well, we have this very sickly child.
I'm fine.
I think we should...
I like the fact that you disenchanted, like, his stomach perception, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, his stomach had been perceiving it as delicious candy, and now it's not.
Also, I'm just giving the kid water as much as that's possible.
Yep, like, I think the kid is very thankful for that. Because
when you get the feeling, let it go.
Yeah.
We're non-judgmental.
Yeah.
We'll hold your hair.
Yeah. What's left of it. Yeah.
I'm giving this kid a buzz cut.
Yeah.
When we get back.
Yeah, exactly. So the question was whether you wanted to travel from here or go back to town and travel from there.
I think it would be very unkind for us to not escort the child back. Like, I'm a necromancer, I'm not an asshole.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, seems good. Alright.
I mean, he's taller than me, he's fine. He can probably swing a sword. It's all good.
He's very unwell.
So yeah, let's go with that. Which means that you return to town having overcome a threat to Beta, and you're not broken and like in need of healing, because that increases your fortunes by 1.
Hooray!
Now it's only -2.
We're back to where we started. Yay!
Good job, team. But like you have the option now to go and like adventure out on further missions. What's the plan? I mean, you might want to like rest the night here first, because like going out, because like it's like getting pretty late at this point. But yeah, you could definitely like go out and adventure on the morrow.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Although, I mean, how are we with seeing in the dark?
Does anyone have the seeing in the dark heritage ability?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
I'm sleepy.
We're always filled with fire.
That's true.
And when I can see in the dark, it's because we have fire, and we know what fire does to me.
Yeah. Alright, well, so then, yeah. I think Jimble's mum is very happy to have him home, and thanks you all profusely, and like offers you a turnip as like payment for your service, because she grew a whole turnip. It's very impressive. And yeah, the next day the sun rises. I think there's a like a playful wind on the air today that is that like the sun rises and the wind is kicking things through the streets. It's not harsh, but it is like it comes from every angle. It switches and moves it, and like so something will like catch someone's like a rag will catch on the air and it'll start heading in one direction and people like go to grab it and it'll disappear in the other direction, and that sort of thing. And I think there are dawn, the sound of like frogs croaking at dawn. What's the plan?
Weren't there frogs that were like, eh?
I mean, yeah. That's
that was a thing someone discovered.
Oh, I don't remember frogs in the discovery list. What's in the journal?
Were Rose and Malcolm's rumor searching things, were they related?
I don't think so.
No, I got a cup.
I thought
And I went to see my grandparents.
I thought the grandparents said something about marriage and water and such.
Oh,
They did.
yeah. I was actually kind of thinking about that those two might be like interconnected in some way, because there was something about the cup being able to like make water safer to drink or something, and then
Yeah,
there was,
like that's the traditional thing of a silver cup.
yeah.
But then the cup has been karate chopped and then put back together with a ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
It's been healed now. Been mended.
Yeah.
I think when you get back to town, actually, that's a good point, Ro. What did you do with the sweets?
I think Ro's just been carrying them around because he doesn't really like sweets.
Okay, so when you get back to town, you or rather the next morning, there were 4 sweets, and there are 4 like scratchings in the base of your tree the next morning.
Like claw marks, or does it look deliberate and tooled?
They look like it's deliberate and tooled. Yes. Someone was like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, maybe we should go check out that pool. If these are connected, I think we should solve that problem. Quickly.
Maybe you should eat one of the mochi and see what happens to the mark on the tree.
Do you want to? It's not chitinous enough for me.
I think they were meant for you.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
You could feed one to your woodlouse.
Yes, Ro is going to eat 3 of them and try and feed the last one to Marrow.
So I would describe
in
them
front of
as
her little face.
I would describe them as delicious mochi. But if you're not into like sweets, then that's a different thing. I think your little friend is certainly happy to like eat a thing that is new tasting. They're nice.
Not huge on the flavor, but they're kind of gummy, which is nice. Reminds me of Dragonfly.
all right. Well, are you okay?
I feel fine.
All right, just checking.
Where's the turnip? Is
Yeah,
what
who has the
Malcolm
turnip?
Says.
I probably have the turnip.
What are we
Does
going
it
to use
look like
that
a
for?
thing?
What's that?
Does the turnip look like a thingy?
No, god damn it.
Slightly.
Adam,
In the same way that all fruits and vegetables do.
Adam, you were saying something?
Oh, I think Malcolm wants to like cook the turnip because that's like what you use turnips for, or we could turn it into like a lantern.
Yeah, up to you.
And then maybe I'd have like, this is maybe a good idea. This is maybe a good use for the lantern actually, because then I'm not just holding a torch that just like gets it on my face.
It's not a big turnip.
And so began the Beta Turnip Lantern Festival tradition.
Let's just save the turnip for when we're
When
really
we get
hungry. I ate yesterday. That means I have like 2 days before I need to eat again.
That's a good idea. Also, we have no idea which creatures that turnip is a huge amount of leverage against.
That's true.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
So what was the clue about the marriage thing and the water?
Adam, did you have that?
The way I remember us talking about it was there's some sort of pool that beasts of burden go to, and when people drink from this pool, they get success in their endeavors, like for weddings and stuff. But then this person who was trying to like make a huge profit, they drank from the water, and people haven't like talked about the pool as much before, or it's been like cursed or something.
It's not the one that's full of eels, is it?
It's not the one that's full of eels, no.
I like that one. That was my favorite.
Do we want to go to this pool and put the the silver cup in it, and then drink from it, and then we'll all be rich?
I like that plan on several levels. Also, we have a curse expert. We'll be fine.
I will come along to make sure that you all don't just destroy yourselves. Being that this sounds like a huge trick, I don't trust magic water because I just saw cake. That didn't work out very well for the last person. Can I actually spend a coin and get some rumors about this?
No.
Okay,
that's for the start of session.
We're just going in.
Can we go and bother Mountain's grandparents for more direction?
You have vague directions from them. Enough to give you the +1 to your navigation, to your traveling check.
Good thing.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
Yes, this place is pretty important to me, so I'd like to find out what's wrong with it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So you set
I'd like to note that I can't get rid of curses. I can only put the ones.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But, like, that's kind of being an expert in a way. Alright, so who is leading this party forth into the wilds? Sounds good. You got that +2.
Yes.
So you will require, I think it's 2 to get to this place that you're looking for. 2 progress, 2 marches.
Okay. Here we go.
Heck 13. Yeah! You make your way through. These like big these like trees that are just like full of vines, and so you're having to like continually part them and like cut your way through them. But at the end of like a solid march, most of the way through the like good way through the afternoon, you find a place where it's like it's cleared and there aren't and like these vines have started to like ease up a bit, which suggests to you, based on the description given by the grandparents, that you're on the right direction. Do you want to keep on going on into the night, or do you want to like take a rest first?
I think we should take a rest.
Camp for the night?
I agree.
All right. So, make camp. When you settle into rest in an unsafe area, choose a camp leader and have them roll. If everyone consumes a ration, they take +1.
I will camp leader because I have a watchdog.
Sure.
Unless somebody else wants to.
I will do my part and consume a ration.
Good job.
Ditto. But yeah, it sounds like a good idea with the watchdog and all.
Not a watchdog, a music box dog.
Oh,
even better, something to soothe us to sleep.
Yeah, excellent. Sparrow and Henri, are you both consuming a ration?
I don't
yes,
have
I didn't
any
make
rations.
You don't have a ration, so someone would have to spot you one.
Ro will volunteer to share his rations with Sparrow.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Excellent. In which case, how did we do? Cammy, do you want to roll your 2d6 plus 1? $13. Wow, maximum power. So restful. On a 10 plus, each player chooses 2. From tend to your wounds, regain up to half your max HP. Share a story, secret, or moment with another character. They mark XP. Listen to another sharing a secret, story, or moment with you. They mark XP. Consume an appropriate resource, medicine, booze, bandages, and remove a debility. Or rest soundly and take +1 forward.
I think I will rest soundly and take +1 forward. And I would also like to listen to another sharing a secret story or moment with me.
Who wants to share?
Who wants to share?
Would medicine come from an adventuring pack? Or should I use a healing potion?
You could use a healing potion. Healing potion doesn't actually click. What ability do you have?
I have hazy, dizzy.
Let me look at that. Can I consider that for a second?
You can.
Is anyone want to share with Sparrow? They've got their listening ears out.
I think it would make the most sense for Ro, since he's sharing food with Sparrow.
That makes sense. Yeah. What do you share? What's the story? What's the secret? What do you tell? This is specifically a role-playing prompt. Like, you don't get to do this move unless someone tells us about themselves.
So I think over Dragonfly on the half shell, Ro will turn to look at Sparrow and say, "So, what are all those small people you always hang around with, like Jimbles?"
Those are children, small humans. Some of them not humans. All just not yet matured and most unable to defend themselves.
So, are they like the drones of your little town?
I don't know what a drone is.
Well, you have the queen, and you have workers, and you have drones.
Like bees?
Yes, bees have them.
We're not really like bees. Instead, imagine everyone is the queen, and so there's very few who are assigned to help the others. They have to choose to help others.
So, why would you keep around the small ones? They're smaller. They can get eaten easier.
That's a good question. Because it's just something I do.
Oh, I see. I have those sort of habits too. Like Mero. I keep her around even though she's not very useful.
Mero totally clicks annoyedly and tries to steal some piece of the food.
The children are also not very useful. Mostly they get in trouble or get lost in the woods or are very hungry. But I take care of them, and some others do as well.
I get it. They're your pets.
Yes. I think that's the closest to understanding we could probably reach there. Yes, they're like my pets.
Okay. This has been a good talk, Sparrow.
All right. So, it sounds like Ro has granted Sparrow 1 XP and Sparrow has granted Ro 1 XP for listening.
Yay.
Trying their best. Cammy, I would allow booze to help. Like stiff booze. The thing is, like, a healing potion specifically restores hit points. If you have things to make like a medicinal tea, that would also help.
I have rations.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it. Sorry, you need to find.
I have
something.
a needle and thread.
No,
Not for dazed.
not for dazed. I'm sorry. Yeah. Cool. What is so? Who hasn't done 2 camp actions?
I've done 0 camp actions.
You've done 0 camp actions. You should do some camp actions, Malcolm.
Okay. The first one that I'm going to do is I'm going to share some story with our little group, and I'm going to tell everyone about a story about a tradition that my family has that is kind of like considered like, oh, like other people in our family do this,
Right.
like some of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And normally if you're in my family, you're like in the majority of people who don't do this thing. But I'm going to tell the story about how I'm in the minority. And I talk about and say, so some of us, like me and my cousins, we go out into the forest at night. And we don't bring any torches or any of that, and we just take the veils off, and we just go running out into the forest until we bump into something. And then we run back. And then hopefully we don't lose anything, we don't die, and we just run, and we keep running. And I almost died once. Not from any monsters or anything, but I just almost fell into a chasm. And I kind of caught my arm on a branch, and then the branch broke, and then I tumbled into the bottom of the chasm, and then it was really wet down there, and there was a little bit of water standing down there, and there were weird reflections in the water. I'm not sure what happened down there, but I heard the voices of my friends up at the top shouting for me, and of course we don't have anything with us, so there's no rope for them to get me up out with, so I just kept following the stream up and up and up, and eventually I got tired of that, and the hill was kind of at a big enough slant that I could just climb up. And so I did. I wasn't too far away from town at that point. That's the story.
I think Henri would comment on how the reverence for like running into the wilds and the risk of death is kind of in reverence of Haru, like kind of throwing yourself out into the world to see what happens. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're listening to another Henri.
I certainly am.
It sounds like you're sharing a story, Malcolm, and Henri is listening. Excellent.
I think Ro has the exact opposite reaction, where he is totally disgusted with this. You're running out of civilization, and you're not even carrying any fire.
Awesome. All right. What was the other action you wanted to take, Malcolm?
I think So we're like sitting around a campfire, right?
I assume so. I don't think Ro would let us camp without fire.
Yeah, and I don't think Malcolm expects that to not be a thing just because they're there. So I feel like you start to see like on the edges of the veil, like the horns start to like bulge under the veil, and then they're like, "Well, I told that story for a pretty long time," and they're just like walking like into a tent they've set up on the other side of like a tree to like shade, and then just like muffled, echoing off of the trees. Good night.
Cool. Awesome. All right.
We will also rest peacefully with the under the watchful gaze of Brother Dog.
Excellent. Good job. All right. The next morning rises, and before you see the like, I think the place that you've camped is like on the edge of like a little drop. This area is full of like cliffs and drops and little rocky sections and all those sorts of things. So yeah, I think there's like you're on about level with like the tops of the trees for like this swamp, and like you can climb down the stones relatively easily to make way into the camp. But there is also the option of, because this swamp is so like netted with those vines, it's possible to walk across the top.
I think Ro is gonna try and walk across the top of the vine.
Yeah, cool. Are there others joining, or are you?
Sounds like a fun time.
I want to know if this is a struggle as one.
I will join.
Yeah, I feel like I just told that story about how
being reckless, and then yeah,
and then that kind of reminds me of being a little bit younger, and I think it sounds like a little risky, but sounds like fun, so I wanted to do it. Yeah.
Struggle is one. If you're like plotting your course out carefully, you can use intelligence. If you're just being nimble, you can use dexterity. All of those sorts of things. So everyone's rolling. Cammy has nailed the dexterity there.
Now, Small but Fierce says when you defy danger, but this
is defying danger, yes. Yep.
Okay.
So you take a +1. Excellent. Everyone makes like, okay. So whoever is leading the party in this, I'm going to actually grant you a +1 because you've got like bonus for this thing. So if it's Sparrow, that's a +4 you currently got.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I am very dexterous.
Yeah, so +4 on your navigation roll.
What'd I miss?
Everyone did really well. So, like, Sparrow is now rolling +4, 2d6 +4 for navigation, and managed to get a 9. All right, DC, do you want to make progress and face danger, or make a discovery?
Usually, I'm all about the danger.
That is your like MO.
One moment. Progress and danger, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, at some point as you're like nimbly like bouncing across the treetops, like Minecraft style, who rolled lowest despite your successes? Ro. Man, Ro, friend. No, it can't be Ro. That's too similar. I think Malcolm, is the one that finds the vines wrap themselves around their legs, or at least one of their legs, and starts pulling them down into the tree. And I think, I think Malcolm, as you like feel this like pulling you down, you see this like this gaping. This is. I know where I'm pulling this from. Yeah, you see a gaping maw of like wooden teeth and rotting bones and like sappy digestive fluids as it's pulling you in. What's everyone gonna do?
Who's too strong? Pull them out.
Yeah, who is strong? Good question. I don't know that anyone is. Yeah, you're going to pull yourself out to fight danger with strength?
Yes, but first.
But first.
Wait, is it Malcolm or Roe that's falling in?
It's Malcolm, sorry. I corrected myself. Yeah.
Yep. I think this is an important creature, location, or item. Do you think this is a creature unusual? Because that's my area of expertise.
Yeah. Yes, it is a creature unusual.
Unusual creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then I get to ask you any one question about it.
Ask me your question, friend.
Is there anything at the bottom of this maw that's like treasure or of value or anything?
Yeah, these creatures will digest organic things. Not any. If anything, if they've eaten a person who had like any kind of treasure on them, it would be in there. I think you see something glint in the like muck, but it's hard to make it out directly. But like these things, yeah, often like end up. I think the other thing that you probably know then with that answer is that if it gets too full of that, it will, like an owl, like cough it up into a pellet somewhere.
Ooh. Okay, let me see. Oh, and then also as a part of my move, in case you want to ask it, the GM may then ask you what tale, song, or legend you heard that.
Oh yes, I would like to know that. I would like to know that,
cool.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay, sure.
So I'm going to give you a bit of information, an additional bit of information to answer that question with. This is a Basidiron.
I'm sorry, say that last part one more time.
This is a Basidiron, just grown to the size of a full tree.
Ooh.
For like the D&D nerds who want to know, who recognize that particular term.
Don't. It's okay.
That's fine. I'm just helping.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with that. So the reason I know about this, I think it's because like we have this tradition of just like running out into the forest, like like I have my little group of cousins that I would do this with, but then there are like another bigger group of like 5.
Yeah.
And they ran into one of these before, and they told our
someone
group all
died in
about
one
it.
of these.
Yeah,
one of your
exactly.
cousins died in one of these.
Yeah. And then I'm like, these things will kill you. And then I try to like break out of the wood and like take out my short sword and just try to like chop because I don't have an axe or anything. So this is the closest thing I've got.
Do you tell us it's full of treasure?
I tell us there's probably treasure nearby.
Reasonable. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Good job, Malcolm. Yeah, you cut your way free from. So yeah, like once you're like back onto a different tree and you can and you can like look clearly. Yeah, this thing is basically that whole tree, and the leaves that it has, the solid branches and leaves that it has, are actually like pulled off other nearby trees and like planted into its dissolving belly, which then, like, same as when you put like flowers or cuttings into like water, it keeps them alive for a while, as it digests them, and then uses that as a way of like trapping things.
Burn it to the ground.
Do we kill it?
I mean, yeah, you know where it is now. You can avoid it.
I think when Sparrow asks, "Do we kill it?" Ro is already throwing fire at it.
All right. What does that do?
Well, I probably have to roll for my flaming brand again.
Yes, you do. All right. Yeah. Which one are you choosing?
I think thrown and near.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we
Cool.
can just toss it from the treetops.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. So yeah, you're gonna volley at it then?
Yep, sure am. Volley with intelligence.
Nice. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your damage. And I need to find my reference for the thing again, because I never have it open when I need it. 4 damage? Great. Let me look and see. Oh, friend, yeah, no, it, the fire